now I'm streaming? Yeah, I tried hitting the stream button before and it just kind of didn't really do anything. What is going on? Now my browser's... Okay, seems like it's streaming. Uh-oh. Nope, okay, there it goes. Seems like things might be wonky for some reason. I don't know why. Why is my... Okay. This could be a weird stream, it feels like. Why is my bitrate going down? It's not dropping any frames. Nope, it dropped some frames. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this. I might need to do a restart if it gets worse. Yeah, it's dropping occasional frames now. And the bitrate is being completely variable. Normally it stays around like 33 to 3500 kbps, but now it's going down between like 1700 and 5100. What the hell? I don't think I can do settings, can I? I can kind of do settings. But, I don't know, maybe, oh, no. Okay, no. Maybe it's stable? Maybe, testing? Nope, it's still kind of varying. Okay, we'll just go with this and see how it goes. Hopefully we weathered out the worst part of it. Where is the game? Oh, there it is. What? What are you mowing? Okay, over here. Alright. Just really, I didn't do a proper audio test. So hopefully everything still sounds good. Waiting for audio. That seems super quiet so far. Maybe. Well, maybe the audio's fine. Might be a tad quiet, but... no. Yeah, we'll try turning that up a bit. That should be a good volume right there, I hope. Yeah, if anybody notices any audio issues with the game compared to my voice, let me know and I can get it fixed. I thought I had enough planning to get this set up, but apparently I missed some things. Yeah, it looks like our bitrate is at least stabilized, so we shouldn't be dropping frames anymore. But anyway, welcome to the stream for probably our first well, not our first official, but one of our few casual playthroughs I've actually been kind of planning on doing. I think the only real full game playthrough I've done of this before in a casual sense was Brave Fencer Musashi, and that was like a long ass time ago. But yeah, I kind of wanted to play this game again because it's one of the ones where I definitely enjoyed it when I was a kid, but I remember next to nothing of it. So I figured that seemed kind of like an appropriate game to kind of get into a casual play style. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the Star Ocean series, it's basically a game of kind of like space exploration, but you usually end up getting stranded on a planet somewhere. So it's still kind of like medieval, slightly advanced medieval kind of technology, stuff like that, but then you get like the outer space and stuff like that. Yeah, this version of Star Ocean, Till the End of Time, which I'm always triggered by the way they use the word till because it's not the right version of it. But yeah, so this is basically the third game in the Star Ocean series. Yeah, the first game was on the Super Nintendo, well, technically Super Famicom, because it was never officially released in the US until it came out on like the Nintendo Store within like the past couple of years. But yeah, then they had one for the PlayStation, which in my opinion was the best of the Star Ocean games. And that one was titled Star Ocean The Second Story, because it wasn't necessarily that creatively named. But this series has a kind of a weird way of getting subtitles to its games, because this one is Till the End of Time. The next one was, I think, Star Ocean The Last Hope, which is kind of more normal-ish. And then the most recent game was Star Ocean... crap, I forgot what it's called now. Integrity and Faithlessness. And it had absolutely nothing to do with the actual storyline for the game whatsoever, but just Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness. Because that's a subtitle. But anyway. So yeah, this is kind of sort of an action RPG-ish kind of game. I think it's kind of what... Well, if anybody's familiar with the Tales of series, this game series is kind of what led to the Tales of kind of gameplay combat style. So you might see some familiarities with that. But yeah, let's get right into it. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is going to change things much for me. I think I have the emulator set to 4.3, so we'll stick with that for now. Audio settings, stereo. Do not do event skip, because casual playthrough, we want to see the storyline. Subtitles and voice. Wait, automatic. Events that have spoken dialogue will be played back with subtitles and sound. Text will advance automatically, so it will not be possible to skip it manually. Lines with spoken dialogue can be skipped. I don't plan on skipping dialogue, but I do at least want to keep the option open just in case. So we'll stick with that. Turn off control of vibration. I don't know if this will actually function correctly. I've never really been that big into vibrations, so we'll just keep that off. And then they have the difficulty levels, which they have Earth level, which is for easier games, Galaxy level, which is the standard difficulty. And I like how Universe is not capitalized, but Earth and Galaxy are. Seems like an oversight. But yeah, I think you have to actually beat the game first on Galaxy in order to get Universe level activated. And I like to play games generally under the normal category or normal difficulty because that's how the developers intended the game to be. So, Galaxy. Kind of rare for a JRPG to not have an opening cinematic. Just go right into the game. Phew. Okay, apparently only like the main cutscenes are voiced.
Here you go.
Okay, I guess they're voiced.
Oh, hi, Sophia. You startled me. I thought you were swimming down at the beach.
I was waiting for you, but you never came. You said you'd play a few games and then head right over.
And suddenly it's 5 a.m. and I'm still playing Civilization 5. No straw slipping sound effects, 1 out of 5.
I didn't plan on staying so long, but I got kind of sucked in.
Yep, that sounds like Civilization 5. Or any Civilization game, honestly.
Well, that's what I thought happened. Didn't you say you had tons of homework to do before we came to Haida anyway?
Yeah, that's what we call the games, homework.
But I was fighting so well today, and I leveled up a lot too, you know?
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. How nice for you.
Someone's in a bad mood today.
What do you expect? You'd rather play games than hang out at the beach with me.
There's sand at the beach. Nobody likes sand.
Sophia? You aren't mad, are you?
I'm not mad.
Just disappointed.
Do you want to go to the beach?
I swam enough, while somebody I know was having the time of his life playing games all by himself.
So, do you want to take a walk through the hotel?
There's no sand there.
I bet it'll be fun. What do you say? Come on. Please. Pretty please.
Well, if you want to hang out with me that badly, I guess it's all right.
Great. Let's go. Time's a-wasted.
Okay.
I'm already enjoying the fact that I didn't pick the automatic text progression, because I can kind of skip some of the dead time at the end of each message. Or line, I should say.
Boy, she sure is taking forever. Bet she's making me wait on purpose.
Hi, Faith.
Took you long enough. What were you doing all that time?
Just changing. I didn't take that long, did I?
Took 5 hours.
Besides, you kept me waiting. How long was it? Serves you right.
Right.
Shall we?
Okay. Just don't yank my arm off.
That's the fun part. Alright, and we get gameplay. Oh. Okay, the control stick seems a little wonky, so I'm gonna try just using the D-pad for a bit. Unless maybe just something weird. Okay, I like how the running animation is so continuous, like half a second after you let go of the button. I don't think we can really get anything in here. Yeah, the control stick seems kind of off as far as like the... I think I might need to recalibrate the stick. Because when I'm doing up right, I'm going just pure up. If I'm doing pure up, it goes right. But then if I go straight down, it's down. Yeah, I need to fix that in post. So where do we go? Okay, so I can move the map. Then we just go down here. East transporter room. All of these transporters are linked with the hotel's main floor. The main floor has a game room where you can enjoy virtual reality entertainment. Hey, sounds like this year. It also has chat chambers and transporters that lead to our private beach. This place is fancy. Got their own beach. Technology! Right, head up. Head up. I can't talk to you. You look oh, there you go. Slanted man. Well, well. Greetings, fair princess and blue-haired knight who attends her. The door that lies beyond is a gateway to evil that has been sealed by a holy man. Beyond the sealed door lurks an evil beast of chaos that would seek to inflict harm upon the princess. Though it may be my end, my appointed task is to protect these lands against the forces of chaos that would disturb the order of this world. Thence the door shall remain sealed until the glass fills with water and all the moons have waned. O princess of pure heart who shimmers like sunlight on water, O knight of valor who conceals the flames of rage within, you must hear and understand what I say. What an eccentric performance. Once again, does not really do much direction this one. Oh, hi.
What? Who are you? This is the Rossetti's dressing room.
Hi.
Oh, I know. You want my autograph, don't you? Oh, well, gotta keep the fans happy.
Who are you?
Usually I'd be pretty mad if someone just came barging in like that, but you're so cute, I'll make an exception this time.
Okay.
You said the Rossettis?
What? You didn't know our troupe's name? Don't go forgetting it now. Say, what's your name?
Fate, but...
I'm Sophia. Right.
What?
My darling Fate.
What?
From the Fairy of Illusions, Pepita Rose.
Okay, dude, you spent 2 seconds writing things down. You did not write that many characters.
What the?
No.
Hey, you can't just draw on somebody's shirt.
Especially when they can't even see what's written on it.
Huh? What? I thought you wanted my autograph. Nobody said anything about wanting an autograph. Huh? But, I mean, what?
Okay, now she's as confused as I am.
Then, you want my mama's autograph? Or my papa's?
I'm on my way out of the hotel.
You can't want Ganella the Clown's autograph, or Ursus the Strongman's. Right?
Well, what's wrong with them?
No, we're not really looking for anyone's autograph.
Huh? Well, what then? Are you a salesman? Nah. Come to think of it, you look like the kind of guy who's never done an honest day's work in his life.
Rude? Must have put the light on.
You're here to collect on a loan. Well, you're too early. That loan's good until next month.
I mean, we'll take another down payment.
No. Who are the Rossettis anyway? And what's with this Fairy of Illusion stuff?
Now we're getting to the meat of the discussion.
Okay. So... you two are just lost?
Well, we're not really lost.
We are.
Oh no! You're robbers!
No,
Hey.
not that either.
I think we should just leave now while we're behind.
Then what are you? You're not one of my fans. You're not here to collect on our loan. You're not lost. So what do you think you're doing barging into our room like this?
I'm sorry for barging into your room. We were just taking a little walk, checking out the place. Isn't that right, Sophia?
A walk?
Yeah, with our legs. You put one in front of the other, and then you do the same with the other one, and you just keep going until you stop.
Yeah, a walk.
Barging into people's rooms isn't called taking a walk.
Depends on what region you're from.
That's for burglars, or lost kids, or stalkers, or groupies.
That's a pretty inclusive term for the sounds of it.
Okay then, we're lost.
What is that slide whistle? Seriously, game.
Let's get out of here, Pete.
Good idea.
So you were lost. That explains it. And I thought you were my very first fan. Oh well, it's not like I performed yet, so it did seem a little strange.
And a little bit high in expectations.
You're a performer?
But we're trying to get out of here.
That's right. We're the Rossetti Troupe, and we bring you a fleeting vision of the future. I'm your fairy guide, Peter Rossetti.
Okay.
Well, if you want to hear it in plain Terran, we're a circus troupe, and I'm sort of the host.
Oh, so this shirt with your signature's gonna be worth something.
Of course! It's the first autograph I ever signed.
Before anybody knew who you were.
Tomorrow's my debut. In 6 months, why, you could buy a whole planet with that shirt.
Alright, don't sync it up too much.
Yeah, amazing. An entire planet. I guess I'll have to take good care of it.
Hey, you don't believe me.
That's actually not that much of a mocking tone. Oh dear. Now, just for the sake of getting out of here quicker and not like insulting her too much.
No, I believe you. I'm sure you'll be dynamite on the stage.
Thanks. I'm in a good mood, so I'll give this little present to you, my first fan.
That is?
A ticket?
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, our show's tomorrow. You better not miss it. After you see us do our thing, you'll want to treasure that autograph for the rest of your life.
Gee, thanks. I'm looking forward to the show.
Assuming the planet doesn't get blown up by then. Because that's the kind of thing that happens in these space games.
Later, Fate.
Key item, get! Alright, so... The little lady practices late into the evening each and every day. She practices more than anyone, so I'm sure she'll be fine this time too. Wait, what do you mean this time? Don't you worry, my lad. Our little invincible Missy here will take on any foe. Alright, that was a thing. Anyway, what's in here? Oh, we found a thing. I just remembered this hotel is one of those new combat simulator games. We have some free time, so maybe I should try to get Sophia to play a game or two with me. I mean, it's probably not a good idea considering what she just kind of railed at us about, but let's try it anyway.
Games again? But you were just playing.
But now we can play together.
Keep playing games all the time like that, and you'll turn into a brainless muscle man.
You're a brainless muscle man.
try, Sophia. It's really fun.
But isn't this one of those combat simulators? Don't you have to fight?
I mean, it's a JRPG, so yeah.
No can do. I don't like these kind of games.
Ooh, this game wants you to be a dick. To dick or not to dick? That is the question. Let's not be a dick yet.
Don't worry. I'll protect you.
But
I'd never let you do anything dangerous. I promise. Come on, try it.
okay. If you say so, I guess I could give it a try.
Then it's settled. Let's start at an easy level since you're a beginner. You'd prefer a character that uses symbology from a distance rather than one that fights up front, right?
Yeah, symbology is this series' term for magic. For those who are uninitiated.
Well, it won't hurt, will it?
Don't worry. Beginner's level doesn't hurt at all. Really.
Okay. I'll give it a try.
Alright then, we're about ready.
Actually, not sure if you can get the regular combat tutorial by just progressing the story normally. I suppose it's also possible this is actually required. I don't really know.
To the battle simulator. Please set battle system parameters.
Level 999, please.
What do you want to do, Sophia? Let's start from the beginning. You want to take a look at the instructions?
I don't know. Should I?
You probably should. Otherwise it won't be much fun.
That I can vouch
Okay.
for.
I will.
You can use the battle simulator here. The battle simulator allows you to play the battle tutorial, initialize your battle trophies, and view descriptions, among other things. I know the battle trophies usually do like some kind of special thing in the Star Ocean games. I don't remember what it does in 3. I think in like 4 and 5 it actually gives your characters like little stat buffs as you play throughout the game. And in the second Star Ocean game, you would actually basically collect like voice lines whenever you use a character in their special move. When you collected enough of those, it would actually reveal like this entire like big ass image. It was kind of cool. Although it would take forever in order to actually fill it up. I'm not kidding, by forever. But by like at least 120 hours. A battle trophy is something that proves you have satisfied certain conditions in a battle. There might even be special rewards for someone or for those who collect enough battle trophies. Okay, so I guess they probably do like character buffs in this as well. Gathering battle trophies requires a memory card, 8 megabytes, PlayStation 2, with at least 1200 kilobytes available. Make sure to initialize your battle trophies. Gathering battle trophies, just said this. Requires one to be always inserted, blah blah blah. Precautions. Battle trophy data for each game is unique. Even if there are multiple sets of battle trophy data, only the data for the battle trophies that were created or loaded in the session may be saved. You cannot create new battle trophy data during the game once you've loaded battle trophy data. After this event, you cannot initialize your battle trophies during the game. You cannot use the battle trophies feature when playing on Earth level. That seems kind of unfortunate, although I suppose it does get rid of some of the challenge for it. To access battle trophies, you must first set the PlayStation 2 console's internal clock, which I already did on this. Please refer to the instruction manual, blah 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 blah. You can check for the battle trophies you have obtained by selecting battle trophies on the title screen. Okay, I got enough about battle trophies. Basic operation. Oh, suddenly we're doing things.
I won't give up.
Welcome to the Battle Simulator tutorial of Star Ocean till the end of time. Here the basic controls of the simulator will be explained. Try to remember what you learned, as it will be handy during real Eddie.
They just go there, right? Did I click the end time?
Yeah.
You're playing that game?
Yep.
Nice.
And as Eddie tries to use my shoulder as a chair. Up to 3 characters can participate in the simulation, and the battle will be played in real time. To begin with, the basic controls will be explained. Eddie claws. The arrow is pointing to the hit point gauge, a parameter for measuring the health of a character. Wow, they're going to the absolute basics. Yeah, I loved this game back when I was a kid.
Nice.
And I remember almost nothing of this except for basically 2 plot points. And they're both kind of big plot points, to be honest, but I don't know, I think it's probably because of how big they are, which is why I remember them. But those won't be for a long while in our playthrough.
Yeah, also, this game, like, hey, if you ever get lost in the plot, we'll never tell you.
I don't recall that much. I mean, last time I played this was when I was a kid, so I don't really recall anything currently from it. The only thing I really remember, the only thing I know recently about this is that the item crafting is broken in not good ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because apparently if you want to actually craft like the good items, you have to know like what gold cost you need to trigger it on. You need to have the right skill levels, and even when you know all of that, it's still RNG what you get. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is I never really had that inclination back when I first played this. Actually, I don't even recall who Elvel is. Like I said, I remember almost nothing about this game.
Yeah.
I've seen like a couple bits of like parts of the speed run, but that's about it. Even then, I don't remember anything from any of those.
Oh, hey, I'll be doing
Pretty much. Yeah, give me the last name for a character I don't recognize at all is not going to help me. Just saying. Okay, so we know what HP is. Mental point. Okay, so we know what. Oh, actually, no. So yeah, this is one of the mechanics that's unique to Star Ocean until the end of time. A character becomes incapacitated when all MP is lost. It is game over when all members become incapacitated. This applies to enemies as well. And there are some enemies who have like so little MP, you can basically knock them out in 1 or 2 MP base attacks, compared to like 15 HP attacks.
Right.
It gets kind of silly sometimes. I think even like a lot of the bosses, you're actually better off going after the MP. This is the Fury gauge. It lessens with every action, and without enough Fury, actions cannot be carried out. It recovers quickly when your character is idle. Special effects result from Fury, which will be explained later on. This is a radar. It indicates positions of all characters within the battle domain. The blue dots are other characters, and the one with the white rim is your character. The dots turn yellow when HP is low. The red dots represent an enemy. Following will be an explanation of how to move characters. The left analog stick or directional button is generally used to move characters. Try it. Okay, thankfully I don't have to use the stick. Yay, I'm winning.
And this is a bucket.
Book it. There is also a way to move a character rapidly. It is called sidestepping, and there are 2 methods of importing the command. Please pick the one easier to use. The first method is to sidestep using the L2 button and the left analog stick, or directional button. Try it. Okay, L2 and then the button. Wait. Okay, I can do left and right and up. Wait. Oh, okay, so it's left, right, and back. Not necessarily like up, down, left, right. Okay. Next is a method of sidestepping using the directional button and the left analog stick for general movement. Let's try the first method again. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. So yeah, we are not using the analog stick for anything. Okay, so that just goes back to the tutorial. Yeah, set to L2 button for sure. I'll probably try to reconfigure the stick so that it actually works properly, but for now, we'll just do the style. Next is how to change your character. Press the L1 button to change the status indicator from the left, and press R1 to change it from the right. Try it. Intensity! After switching characters, press the R2 button to choose the option of whether the other character will be operated automatically or not. Okay. This ends the explanation of the basics. Good work. How to attack.
Do you know how to press the button? Do you know how to press X?
Do you know how to press the button harder? That does actually work in some games. This section will explain how to attack your target. There are 2 methods of choosing a target, manual and auto. If it is set to auto, the character will continue to target the enemy that is closest. Try this by moving your character near several targets. Okay, so there's the auto. If it's set to manual, press the square button to set it to switch target mode. Once in this mode, use the directional button to change targets. Press X triangle to return to auto. Okay. Auto. I think I like the auto better. Now for an explanation of attacks. There are minor attacks and major attacks. First, watch as you receive attacks to see the difference between the two. A minor attack can be completely blocked with 100% Fury. This is called Guard. Here is the first enemy. That was a special defensive called Guard, which blocks all minor attacks. This only occurs when Fury is 100%. Because of the rapid pace of minor attacks, they are fast enough to preempt an enemy's major attack. On to major attacks. They are distinguishable by the blue glow displayed. Or purple in this case. Major attacks cannot be guarded with 100% Fury. Although the attacks are slow, they can rip through guard and also cause heavy damage. Now let's try it. Press the X button for minor and the circle button for major attacks. For repeated attacks, press continuously. The Fury gauge of an enemy is shown next to it. Be careful when using minor attacks because if guarded, your Fury will diminish drastically. Okay, that is that kind of ground. Okay, it fills back up pretty quickly though.
Want some? Want some?
Feels like it's not always pressing down properly. Yeah, control seems slightly weird for some reason. It's like the input isn't really fully being accepted. That might cause issues. Next, let's try using battle skills. There are special moves that can be set in the camp menu. Battle skills that can be set are based on the range of the character. Range is the distance between your character and the target/enemy. There are two ranges, short and long, which determine which attack can be used. 4 types of battle skills can be set up by combining range and minor and major attacks. The button a battle skill is set on determines whether it will be a minor or major attack. Although major attacks can cause more damage and tear through an enemy's guard, they consume more HP and Fury. Battle skills can be used by pressing either the circle button or the square button for a period of time. Different attacks will be released according to the button and range. The range will not affect attacks here because there are only 2 types the range will not affect attacks here because only 2 types of attacks are prepared in this tutorial.
Shotgun blast! Shotgun blast!
Yeah.
Blade of Fury!
That seems like a pretty weak ability. Now for the action cancel. By pressing buttons at the right moment after attacks, rapid chains of attacks are possible. Oh, so it's like a time system. Although cancel can be practiced here, it requires plenty of practice to perform. Because different attacks require different timing, real battles allow more practice. For those who want to practice later, move on. Okay. The most important thing in battle is to keep the enemy from using guard. Minor attacks and battle skills based on minor attacks are useless if the enemy is using guard. Plan your attacks while regarding the Fury of the target. A battle is basically over when all enemies are defeated. Defeat all enemies to end the simulation. That was incorrect.
Shotgun blast!
Apparently I completely forgot that the abilities actually use HP instead of MP. Damn.
I'll show you what I've got.
The section will explain the camp commands during battle. Why are there camp commands during battle? That sounds weird. There are 6 commands that can be used during battle. Tactics, tactical skills, equip, use items, symbology, and escape. They can be used under certain circumstances. Press the triangle button to display the commands. The battle will be paused as long as the commands are displayed. Press circle to return to the battle. Let's begin with the explanation of the tactics command. This command decides the actions of characters operated automatically. Triangle button, look at the tactics. Probably start with conserve. Don't want anybody dying on me. That's done. Next is an explanation of tactical skills. The further into the game you are, the more skills you acquire. The features of skills in use can be set in the menu. It is tactical skills in the camp command. In this tutorial, practice setting the anti-attack aura, an effect that occurs during guard. Alright. for forward, effect stun. So this is an anti-attack aura. I think we'll just stick with standard because that's like a guaranteed stun for now. Turn on or off with square. Oh, okay. I don't know why you have it off, but okay. Items obtained during the game can be used in battle. An item cannot be used directly after the use of another item. There are various items, ones used on enemies and others used on yourselves. Items can be used by selecting items in the camp command. Yeah, there's a general cooldown on item usage. Blueberry. I can barely read that text. 30% HP recovery. Nobody's actually hurt, so we'll just keep it on you. Items that's the same thing, never mind. Sophia is the main user of the camp command Symbology. Select the special ability Symbology from the menu to use. Try it after selecting Sophia as your character. Healing and antidote. That is very little MP at least. Heal. The last camp command is escape. You can escape from almost all battles with the exception of a few. Select escape and then end the tutorial.
Let's get out of here!
Save yourselves! Other information.
I'll give it my best shot!
Bring it on!
This section explains other things to know for battle. Although it cannot be done during battle, it is important to select the arrangement of characters and to pick a leader before the battle. The leader is the character operated by the player. The characters not used by the player will be operated automatically. They will fight better with the leveling up of defense and attack. By choosing Do Nothing, the character will not take any action. The word manual appears under the character's picture at the bottom of the screen. Use R2 to switch back and forth. Also during battle, an enemy attack can alter your condition. Poison drains HP at regular level, or regular intervals. Paralysis and petrification stop one action, or stops one's action. It is game over when all characters are petrified. Yeah, petrified is a kind of permanent until taken off kind of thing. I think paralysis just comes off after time. One cannot move for a period of time when stunned. These are the common changes in condition. Next will be the explanation of the battle bonus gauge. It is found on the right side of the screen. It increases every time the enemy receives damage. A bonus battle starts when it becomes full. A bonus battle. A bonus battle is a battle with lots of merits, such as obtaining larger amounts of experience points. The bonus battle gauge will not empty as long as your character does not become incapacitated or receive a critical hit. The bonus battles will continue as long as the gauge does not empty. Be careful when saving the game, because the contents of the game will not, or the gauge will not be saved. Bonus battles are the key to quickening the leveling up of character. Next, there are two types of cameras ready during battle. Normal mode, and fixed mode for those who get queasy. Fixed mode is based on the camera mode used now. The characters look very small, which makes it a little harder to play. Normal mode is recommended for those that are fine with either mode. One of the other benefits of fixed mode as well is that you actually get to see the entire battlefield, so you know where everything is for sure. Whereas it's kind of hard to notice that when you're in normal mode, but we'll stick with that for now. That's the end of the tutorial. Next, I know there are some fights in the in Star Ocean 2 I actually had to do with fixed camera because they're just so hard to figure out what's going on otherwise. Start the game.
Let's play. Computer, start.
Player 1, Fate Line God. Character, Sword Master Adonis Klein. User level, AAA.
That's my insurance.
Player 2, Sophia Estede. Character, Flare Witch Cecilia Fairmana. User level.
How does she have a character name when she's never played before?
Battlefield, Remote.
How does she have a class even?
Listia. Monster level, E.
E.
Setup complete. Continue.
Okay, we're ready.
Preparing to commence. This simulation system may abort a game if it detects that player safety is at risk.
I already know that. Just start.
But she didn't know that.
Confirmed. Commencing game.
Maybe Fate should be a dick.
Real
I'll show you what I've got!
Ow.
How do you like that? Huh.
you remember how the actual like combo sets work.
Want some?
Okay, is it like super tight timing, or am I just not doing it right?
Want some?
How do you like that?
Maybe you can't like intermix strong.
Want some?
Yeah, I think it's you can't intermix the strong we hit. I think that's all it is.
All right.
Oh, no experience. That was the point of this, though, to gain experience.
That wore me out.
But wasn't it fun?
Well, it wasn't too bad, I guess.
I don't like the phrasing of just give up, but yeah, we really need to progress the story.
What do you say we stop now and go get a bite to eat or something? You look pretty bushed.
Yeah.
Was that ever a term that was actually used in like the history of mankind? You look bushed.
You need more exercise.
I wonder if that's just a translation error.
Guess I'm just a fatty.
Fat, fatty, fat, fat.
No one's saying that. Sheesh. Hey, let's go find my mom and dad.
Right.
What the?
Level 2 tremor detected. The system will be temporarily deactivated for your safety. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Can you clarify which system? Because some of them are more vital than others.
An earthquake? But Haida 4 is a stable world with no tectonic activity. There shouldn't be any earthquakes.
Well, maybe no recorded tectonic activity. There is a difference.
Ah!
This is an emergency alert. Haida 4 is currently under attack by unidentified spacecraft. All civilians should follow immediate evacuation instructions on the nearest console.
Okay, suddenly I'm imagining like the planet's being attacked by Galaga aliens. They just go beep, 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 beep.
I repeat.
Computer,
all civilians-
what's going on?
Remote Station 7, Haida 3 and Haida 4 are currently under attack by unidentified ships.
Oh, several places. That actually does sound kind of intense.
Remote Station 7 has scrambled its own ships to mount a counterattack, but they are outnumbered and therefore unable to provide evacuation assistance to Haida 4.
An attack by unidentified ships?
Stand by for video display.
Why would you be displaying that here and to us? Do you think those resources would be better used by like people actually trying to defend the place? Oh, game over.
I don't believe it.
As an emergency measure, all transporters have been directly linked to the evacuation terminal. Please commence evacuation by following the established...
Don't worry, Sophia. I'll stick with you.
Thanks.
Not the Romulans.
But
They're almost worse than the Klingons.
never seen ships like those before. I wonder if Mom and Dad are all right. First things first. We gotta get out of here. Let's go.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to use the right stick for camera control, but apparently this game doesn't function that way. Oh, there's a dude. There we go. What's going on? I didn't know the Pan-Galactic Federation had any enemies in this region. Whoever said a part-time job on a resort planet where we'd be a breeze was full of it. Okay, so how do we get to Temple Orders? I don't know where we came from.
This game would be just related. I have to enter my ID number on it.
Okay, that's not what we're trying to do. There we go. Hey, Faye, I'm really worried about your mom and dad. Do you think they're okay? I don't know. But at any rate, we gotta get somewhere safe fast. Sure, I'm worried about my mom and dad, but we need to think about ourselves right now. Yeah, you're right. Let's go.
Oh no! What am I gonna do? No, I gotta relax. Relax! First of all, I gotta get away from here.
Slowest run ever. And fastest walk ever. So that was the Rossettis. So we came this way before.
Due to the state of emergency, all transporters have been redirected to send guests to a special floor, where a large transporter waits to take you to the emergency shelter.
You know, that's something that could easily just be said by the AI, repeated over and over. There's only an actual person
After
there,
the arrival of
kind of
all
risking their
guests,
life to
the
tell
shelter
people the
has
same
been
thing.
confirmed. The transport jammer located in the evacuation facility will be activated. Please evacuate in an orderly and speedy manner.
I love how completely non-panicked she sounds. I mean, sure, she's probably been preparing for this kind of situation, but there's always going to be some level of nerves. Also, what's with the laser tripwires? The glowing object you see on your screen is called a save point. Save points are automatically activated when your character approaches them. Save points are mostly located inside inns and dungeons. If you want to save the game, simply approach a save point. Make sure that it is activated, and press triangle to go to the camp screen. Select car from the top menu to save the game data. It feels weird to be using like a memory card of some kind for saving now. After having like the several recent generations just be straight on the system itself. Yay, we did the thing. Let's go for tactics. We'll stick with well balanced, I guess. We'll see how draining that is on HP. Also, I didn't realize there were actually so many characters you could have in this game. That seems like a lot of reserve slots. What are some of the config options? Oh, divide is everything we've already done. Yeah. Key customization? Oh, okay. Wait. Disintegration window? I'm sorry? What? Why would I want a disintegration window? Ooh, window color. More green. Because green. Wait. Oh, that's not one. Wait, how do I... I thought I had the battle trophies activated. I hope that doesn't screw me over for later.
Hey!
Uncle Robert and Aunt Ryoko!
I'm glad you're both here.
You guys too, Dad.
Wait, you guys directing to multiple people, and then ending with directing to a singular person.
I was so worried.
That doesn't seem right.
What's going on, Dad? Is Aldean attacking?
Probably not. From the looks of their weapons, it's most likely...
Most likely what?
Never mind. We must get out of here. Let's go.
Before Ronald McDonald gets us.
Please wait here.
Is something wrong?
There's a long line to use the transporter up ahead. You'll have to wait your turn here.
I see. We'll wait then.
Damn! How'd they get in this far? Get going! Keep moving forward!
Initiate
Get out
pew
of
pew.
here.
Yeah.
Here they are! Run for it!
They didn't last long.
Yes. As I suspected.
Dad!
Run, you two!
Uncle Robert?
Just get out of here!
But...
Get moving now. You have to protect
You guys could come with us.
That's right, hurry! Don't worry about us!
But you could come with us. Long wait.
It's all right. We'll be at the evacuation facility soon.
Promise, Dad?
Promise.
Let's go, Sophia.
Okay.
But why can't you just come now? Explain thyself.
They're getting away! Use the incapacitator!
Actually, that sounds relatively tame for an enemy super weapon.
What? An attack from behind?
Oh no, our butts are being targeted.
How do you like that?
Pretty back.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
How do you like that?
Hurry back. Right, I gotta stop using the thumbstick.
Want some?
There.
Want some?
Okay, so he's not doing so hot. There we go.
That was easier than I thought.
Still no experience, really?
Damn it.
I'm scared.
Don't worry. Just stay behind me.
Okay.
Wait, what weapon are you even using?
What are we gonna do? There's no end to these. Huh? What the heck is that?
Hey, Faith! Sophia! You okay? You hurt? Is that?
PETA?
Came to check out what all the racket was about. We found you guys in trouble.
Little lady?
What do you want, Ursus? What the? Man, this is not what we need right now. Ursus, take care of that one. Let's go, you two.
Oh, okay, we are moving battle.
I'll give it my best shot.
Looks like an even match. Ha! Want some? Ha! 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 Want
Look, so
some?
far I don't see a point to actually using minor
That was
attacks.
easy.
Hey, we actually got some healing on time.
There's more?
Real
I'll
fast.
show you what I've got.
Ha! Want some? Ha!
You got
Easy
good
game.
moves. I should introduce you to the circus man. Phew. Piece of cake.
Thanks for the help.
No problemo. But we should get out of here. There'll be more of those things coming. It's already a complete disaster over that way. Come on. Let's get out of here.
A complete disaster.
Hey,
But
wait
my
a
parents.
sec. Fate! Forget it. Didn't you hear Pepita? It's too dangerous back that way.
But
Forget it.
Come on, you two. I already said it was too dangerous.
Please, stop him. He says he's going back.
Technically never said that.
Back there?
Mom and Dad are back there. I have to go help them. Out of my way!
Didn't you hear me? It's an inferno back there.
It's way too dangerous.
Come on, you two, out of my way!
Oh, that's it. Ursus?
Alright, I need to do a pile driver.
Let me go! Let me go!
Look, we'll all die if we don't get out of here. Now!
Welcome to Aruba Shelter 5. This is an evacuation shelter located underneath Haida 4. Please wait in your assigned rooms until the rescue ship arrives. You are allowed to move freely about the facility, but there are some restricted areas.
Including the bathroom.
Please refer to the consoles or ask the nearest official for detailed instructions.
All right then. Well, we're going now.
Fate looks kind of pissed.
Hey, cheer up. Fate.
Shall we go? There's nothing left to do here anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure your parents are okay. Don't worry.
Not like anything anything bad happens anyways. Parents in a JRPG.
Let's go.
Oh, 1 second, please. You've been assigned to room 506. Remember that.
Okay, 506. Got it.
I expect the rescue transports will be here soon. Please try to relax and wait.
Okay.
Alright. Fat loots. No fat loots. Where all can we explore? Oh, there's our room right away. This is room 506. No, the game wants us to go here, so let's not go here. 7. Those weapons they were carrying. Do you think that maybe it could have been the Vendini? But if it was, what could they possibly want? Eventually, I'm sure these terms will make sense. Are you a bird person? Male blue dolphin. Okay. The beach is calling out to me. Okay. Ooh, you have a tail. I like you. Elderly Rokian. Alright. Yeah, the Rokians are basically humans but with tails. That's literally the only difference. Never thought something like this would happen. Damn them. What a mess they've made. Who are these people? Who be you? It's okay. It's alright. It's safe. As long as we stay here, there's nothing to worry about. Please relax. Oh, hello. I'm just glad that everyone is okay. Alright, time to discuss our business plans. Hmm? What? Fate?
Your parents.
Well, what can you do, eh? Hey, at least you're still alive, eh?
Oh, Ganella. You should really watch your tongue.
No, it's okay. It's just like he said. Even if I went to help them, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. If only I was a little stronger.
Fate.
Strength, it's not enough. You can't beat them.
He's right. It's not your fault. I bet they were professional soldiers. There's nothing we can do against people like that.
At least not yet.
And you know, just because they didn't make it to this evacuation facility doesn't mean your parents are dead. You know, they might be hiding out somewhere. Don't give up so soon.
It would also kind of make sense for there to be like multiple different evacuation areas. That way if one does get infiltrated, it doesn't affect
Or
everybody.
they might have been captured or something, eh?
Dude!
Ganella!
It's all right. If they've been captured, then you can go rescue them.
Anyway, you'll just have to wait a little longer. What could you possibly do right now? We don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, you're right.
Why don't you go to your room and rest a bit? You're too tired to do anything right now.
Or you could just rest here with us. Wouldn't you feel safer here with everyone?
I mean, technically I only know like 2 of you.
Thank you, but I'm fine. I want to think things over anyway.
Okay.
I do like how the back of Fate's shirt still has the autograph. I like that attention to detail. I don't even know if there are items to get from this area. That's another teleporter. Hey, it's...
Hey, Fate. Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Do you think maybe I should have minded my own business that time?
That time?
Yeah, you know, when we were escaping to this place, I had Ursus grab you. That's why you got separated from your family. It's all my fault, isn't it?
I mean, technically it was on Fate's parents for not just coming with to begin with.
Pepita.
There's really no reason as far as I was aware for them to stay.
That's not true. I would have been killed if you guys hadn't stopped me. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Of course. Why would you ask such a thing?
It's nothing.
Whenever somebody answers with "it's nothing," it's definitely not nothing.
I'm just kind of worried about it.
That room contains equipment that prevents enemies from transporting in or scanning the area. In other words, that's the lifeline for everyone here. Unless you have a good reason, please do not go any farther in that direction. Okay. Where is the officer who's saying... Oh, he's right there. Okay, fair enough. No matter what kind of scanners they have, locating this facility is impossible for all intents and purposes. I don't know who they are up there, but as long as we stay here, we're safe. Everyone's okay. The gods, they're watching. Oh, okay, so, wait, no. Wait, did I talk in the same room? Are you looking for a big guy? You went somewhere with the little Missy. It's not like there's really any place to go, so they should be back soon. Minions of the evil Dark Prince, emanating from the void. What is the true purpose that drives them? A shocking truth is about to be revealed. News at 11. See our next performance for the rest of the story. This is not the time to advertise. Is that a mini-map? Oh, okay. R2 actually brings up a full map. Or just changes the base mini-map. Little Kitsune. Foxtail girl. What a pain. Do we really have to live down here? I guess it would be okay if I act like I'm at camp. I mean, the way this game refers to everything as camp, you're kind of there anyway. Flirt? Can't take this anymore. I'm gonna die, aren't I? That's not really much of a flirt. They've already sent the distress signal, so the Space Force of the Pan-Galactic Federation is surely on its way to rescue us. What is the blue marker? Ouch. Somebody stepped on my wing when we were running down here. Wait, how do they step on your wing? You'd have to have like really low wings for that, or like already be trampled on, which would then cause pain everywhere else. That does not make logical sense, sir. Ah! What is the Federation Army doing? This is negligence, I tell you. Negligence! Does anyone else here have an injury? Actually, it's not much, but I can work a little rejuvenation symbology on my own. Ah! Hey, you're a little bit hurt there yourself. Noises! How's that? You feel a little better now, right? So I guess that's technically sort of like a rest area. Maybe that's why the thing is blue. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like there's any kind of items here to get. Unless those are chests? Nope, apparently not. Okay, I think it's time to just advance the plot. And do our room. Right here.
Sophia, you okay?
Yeah, I think.
You're exhausted. You should rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the things where everything's probably just finally starting to kind of hit home for her at this point. All the adrenaline dies down.
Sorry.
Don't worry. Just rest.
Fate?
What is it?
Will you stay here until I fall asleep? I don't want to be alone.
Sure, I'll stay. Just relax and go to sleep.
Thanks.
Good night.
Same time. Okay, so what are the skill setups look like for this game? We got our combat skills, status. Oh, wait. Are they not like the traditional skill points? Yeah, because that's... Unless maybe we activate like field skills or something later on. That would kinda make sense. We don't have the abilities yet. Like, probably use skill points to actually just increase combat stats, which in pretty much every other Star Wars game used to buff up like passive skills. It also increases stuff like crafting. But one of those things is just unlocked later. Metal pipe. Fragile metal pipe. What was the... Oh, optimize. Okay. Yeah, we should be good at this point. Oh, wait, save. Still no items. Okay, yeah. So now where? Excuse me. Oh, okay. Wait, no, that's a different Xbox. We're in an enclosed pocket of air located thousands of meters underground. The area is completely sealed off. I apologize for the inconvenience. I mean, that does kind of explain the idea of not being able to be tracked. But... There's a teleporter. Can we use it at all? Nope. Transporter is currently out of service. Fair enough. Here's the inn, quote unquote. I'm guessing we need to go back to the Rossettis. Oh, I did not mean to go in there. I think they were down here. You know, like the room farthest to the right. There she is. I still have a long way to go myself. I mean, it's times like this when it's really my job to make people smile. Even at times like this. No, I should say especially at times like this. People like us are necessary, you know? I know it's rough, but you're still a man. Look around you and support people who need it. Got that? Hey, didn't they say we'd be safe just as long as we stayed here? Completely safe. I feel so safe. If I didn't feel safe, I wouldn't be able to go on. Okay, so where do we go? Penguin dude. Does the same thing. Does the same thing. Are you new? No. Game, what do? I've already saved. Tried to go left, I went to the teleporter room, neither of those worked. Down in that room, I think I've talked to you. Nobody told me this was gonna happen. What should I do? Okay, we went to the blue room. I've been in here. Why did this have to happen? And I was on vacation, too. Wow! It was a beam! A real beam! I've never seen a real beam before. I mean, yeah, there were solid houses everywhere. Bed's too hard and we have to share rooms. No tennis courts and even no showers. Yummy cakes and tea are out of the question. I have to be honest. I really can't take much more of this. I don't know how quickly they can get us out of here. There's no need to worry. Set your mind at ease. I don't want to die just yet. Please, someone, anyone, you've got to rescue us. Maybe we need to try going up these stairs? I think this is just another teleporter room. Yeah, just more teleporters. Nope. Okay, so... I've already been in these rooms then. Or maybe I just need to like lay down on my own bed and sleep. Maybe that's it. Find my own. This is your bed. What do you want to do? We've already gathered information. Yeah. Sleepy times. Where am I?
Where am I?
Oh, that's your voice.
Oh, yeah. The attack on Haida. It's 3:52 a.m. Still so
Warning.
early.
Timer. Sleep.
Well, what now?
Hey, what's that sound?
Sounds like they're going to make an announcement.
This is an update for all refugees. We now know the recent raid on the resort planet Haida was a surprise attack by Vendine.
Vendine? Aren't they that military power that's currently at war with Aldean? They did turn down the Federation's offer of aid some time ago, but there were no open hostilities.
Remote Station 7 mounted an attempt to defend Haida 4, but it was thwarted by a tactical Vendini strike. Currently, the Pan-Galactic Administration is scrambling ships from surrounding regions, but Vendini forces still have control of this sector. We request that all civilians begin boarding rescue shuttles for immediate evacuation to Remote Station 6. Please do not panic.
Okay, assuming Station 6 is still nearby, that wouldn't seem to be the best place to evacuate. You'd think the Vendini would be able to get right back there relatively quickly, too.
Sophia, we gotta go. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. A little sleep helped calm me down.
Hold on just a little longer. We'll be safe once we reach Remote Station 6.
Okay.
Computer, tell me the present location of Robert and Ryoko Line God.
The present location of the specified individuals is unknown.
What do you mean, unknown?
Both Robert Linegold and Ryoko Linegold's positions were lost on galactic year 772 12141923.
That seems unfortunate.
Lost? What then?
The information system is currently experiencing technical difficulties.
Just like everything else.
Confirmation is not possible at present.
What? Oh no!
Now I think we go back to the teleport.
Welcome to the Federation transport ship GFSS 12372 Hellera. You must have been through a lot.
That is a lot of characters and numbers. They could have just called it the Hellera.
We will soon be departing for Remote Station 6. The observation bay is located directly through the corridor leading out of this room. Please wait there until we reach our destination. Gravitic warp will get us there shortly.
Gravitic warp. How would that theoretically work? That seems like it's just based on gravity, which would require a lot of like slingshotting around planets and stuff like that to make it work. That doesn't seem very efficient. Well, maybe it would be efficient technically, but it wouldn't be like fast. I have a lot of questions just about those two words. This is a Federation transport ship. Okay, the one line. Hey, cut it out. Hurry up and go inside. Wow, we're on a real Federation spaceship. At least he's not worried about the, the military attack. Apparently your ID lacks the necessary authorization to open this door. Please keep in mind that since the Federation transport ship Hellra is a military vessel, many areas are off limits. Your cooperation is appreciated.
Hey, Faith, what's that? They're all watching something.
Huh? You're right. What is that? Something on the monitor?
Let's take a look.
Okay. Oh no! It's worse than I thought.
This is horrible.
We are about to enter gravitic warp to escape the battle zone. I repeat, we are about to enter gravitic warp to escape the battle zone. All evacuees prepare for warp turbulence.
Now watch, there's absolutely no turbulence. Yeah, how is that at all based on gravity? I'll even take like a kindergarten explanation of how gravitic warp is supposed to work.
Fade?
Oh, I woke you up. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Where do you think we are now?
There haven't been any announcements yet.
We should ask one of the crew.
Yeah, good idea.
Or not, considering the fact that there's a cinematic going on. Okay, we can go this way. Old man, are we really out of danger? Can't be sure until we reach a safe sector. Now we find ourselves watching outer space. I cannot leave the salt water behind. Okay. We were truly lucky. How many people did they mercilessly slaughter this day? I'm exhausted. I didn't get enough sleep in the evacuation facility. I really need a good night's sleep. Haida 4 was all covered in flames. We were really lucky to survive. How long are we gonna have to be like this? Some of those guys have wandering eyes. Let's go ahead and get another save. Wait. Oh, the green thing is the save point. Get out. And try to talk to some people. Oh, hello. I looked at Haida just before the ship entered Gravitic Warp. It was all covered in red. How many dreams were swallowed in those flickering lights? The more I think about it, the worse it seems. Why did it have to come to this? The saddest part about all of it is that it was all real. It wasn't a dream. Okay, that's the same thing he said before. I'll get them. Those evil guys. I'll get them for sure. Helra, a shining, glorious light of hope, here to rescue the young knight from the clutches of the evil Vandini archfiend. The scintillating light shreds the darkness, passes secretly through the void, and carries the young knight and the princess to the promised land. The transporter room cannot be used while the ship is in gravitic warp space. Okay, so far I've learned absolutely nothing. The planet was so pretty. All those twinkling red lights. When I think about what we've just been through, I can't stop shaking. I still can't believe I made it through that alive. Okay, who else is there to talk to? Apparently, oh,
Navigator.
Okay.
Status report.
Yes, Captain. We were cruising at Warp 15 on course 231, Mark 330, when the gravitic warp field collapsed and the computer detected an anomaly, forcing us to return to conventional space.
That's never good.
Computer, what caused the ship's warp field to collapse?
There is not enough data to determine the cause.
All right. Even if you can't determine the cause, how about a theory?
My theory is you need to shave.
Sensors detected a space-time disturbance. Our database does not contain any record of such a disturbance, but there is a 77% probability it was the cause of the collapse.
We don't have any proof it happened, but it's probably what happened. Fair enough.
Space-time disturbance? Come to think of it, Vendini military technology is based on space-time manipulation.
That is not an established fact, but the Federation Institute of Technology has theorized this is the case.
So it was likely a Vendini attack that stopped us then.
Screen on!
Damn! Divert all power to shields! Evasion course 291, Mark 030.
Course entered.
So that's a Vendini battleship. A rescue frigate's shields are no match for the likes of that.
Fate.
This is your captain speaking. Our ship is currently under attack by a Vendini battleship.
Hope you brought a second pair of pants.
Our gravitic warp engine has already been disabled, which means escape is not an option.
Oh dear.
All power has been diverted to our shields to buy us some time. I wanted you all to know our chances are slim.
I like how the penguin or the dolphin is holding a big gulp.
I had hoped to transport you all the way to Remote Station 6, but it seems that is now beyond my power. All evacuees are requested to proceed to the ship's escape pods. Please remain calm and follow the instructions of the attendant nearest to you as you board your pod. Good luck to you all.
A direct hit?
Shields down to 47% power!
Well, that didn't last long.
Let's get out of here! Right behind you!
We're doomed.
To the pods, everyone, hurry. They're located one level up in the hangar bay. Don't panic.
Anyway, how do you make this?
We gotta go, Sophia.
Okay.
I guess we have to control. Always save. Why you like this? I'm guessing there's no. Eventually we'll find it. I promise. Say the same thing. Me and the rest of the troop will go on last. I just don't want to be separated from them, no matter what. This troop is one big family. We'll live or die together. It's no good being too leisurely, but panicking is no better. I've decided that we'll go last. What are you gonna say? I don't want to die. I really don't want to die. No matter what happens, I won't die. Okay. At the very moment the princess and the young knight attempt to set foot on the promised land, a messenger of the Archfiend arrives. The sharp claws of the Vendini slash ruthlessly. However, there's nothing to worry about. Whatever evil they might plot, as everyone knows, it's the knight, valiant defender of the princess, who must win in the end. To tell the truth, little scared. But to be alone is more scary. So I wait. This door is locked. Wait. Oh, this door's open now. Okay. Go to the upper deck, go right, proceed all the way to the back. Go on, hurry. Well, they say to the right, but let's go left. Like, I like how we're just suddenly on the bridge. Like, that's what probably makes that whole thing. The space-time displacement shield generator has been destroyed. I can't raise the shield's power output. Hold it together until all the civilians have entered the escape pods. That'll be long enough. Yes, sir. I'm rerouting the ship's remaining energy load of 80% in order to maintain the shield. Hey, you. I hope you don't mind me asking this, but what's your blood type? AB? I'm B myself. My fortune this morning said that today I was gonna have the worst luck ever. Of course, it also said the type AB guys would have the best day of their life today. Man, I really envy you. How would this qualify as the best day of my life? Just start off with that. Go on. You've got to survive this. I'm sorry to ask this, but can you do me a favor? I have this picture of a girl on the planet Expel here. Can you please give her this letter? Picture of a girl? Wait, never mind. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stopped you like that. There's not enough time left. You better run to the escape hatch. Can I talk to you? Probably not. What? You aren't. Get to the escape pods immediately, civilians. Is the situation really that bad? Take a look for yourself. This transport ship, the Hellra, is currently under fire from that Vendini battleship. I received a report that the attack we just received did serious damage to the ship's gravitic warp core. That's now malfunctioning. The ship will probably explode in a few minutes once it can no longer contain the massive amounts of energy generated by its gravitic warp engine. I mean, can you just shut the engine? Well, I suppose. Well, if the core is damaged, you can just shut the engine down. That should be able to save things. You understand what I just told you? So hurry up and evacuate. Hurry up? Huh? Why isn't everyone evacuating? This ship usually carries more than enough escape pods for all passengers. Unfortunately, we're currently carrying passengers well in excess of the ship's maximum occupancy. What? That means it was an emergency situation. This is nobody's fault. So hurry. You can still survive this. Captain, everyone. Can't go anywhere here. Can't go up there. I think I have to go. Oh, that's where we came out of. Here we go. I mean, I don't want to die just yet, but that doesn't mean I want to survive at all costs either. You know what I mean? If I have to die now, I'd at least like to go out with a little style. What do you mean, style? I guess it goes without saying, but sure it's crowded here. I wonder if there's anyone here who's good at making people get into line. I mean, there's not really enough people to really make that a requirement. I can't believe it! Why are they letting mothers and children go ahead of me? Hey. No words. Do not panic. There are enough escape pods for everyone. Priority will be given to the elderly and the women and children. Why won't you let me on first? Do you have any idea what a devastating loss to the Federation it would be if I died? Might as well to you. I cannot believe this. I thought we were rescued and now this happens? Attention please. I need everyone to move this way through the escape hatch. No, I don't need an escape pod. Can you just let me through? I just want to take my board and go off for a little swim. I'm serious. So can I not actually progress from here? Just a little bit longer. Please, wait just a little bit longer. Everyone will get their turn up to board an escape pod. Okay, so I come back? Talk to you again. Okay, you said the same thing. Okay, so I can't seem to do anything here. Oh. Why? Okay. Just leave the room and then come back in and then suddenly everything's clear. That's a bunch of escape pods. It's over this way. More pods. And basically that's it. Alright. Just pick a random area. I'm guessing any of them would work.
The pod's still here. Get in, quick! We're running out of time.
Wait, I'm scared.
Don't worry.
But...
Federation ship will recover our pods in no time. I'll see you at Remote Station 6. Now get going.
Okay, you'll follow, right? Promise?
Promise. Right. Better hurry.
Beep 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 boop beep beep boop boop. Beep boop.
Activation complete. Ejection in 10 seconds.
Wait, I had to time all that myself? That doesn't seem very effective. That's a big boom. Why am I flying right toward the enemy ship? Wait, what?
Distress
Very quiet.
signal operational.
No longer quiet.
Okay,
Searching for life-supporting planets. Planet found.
Where?
Vanguard 3. Located approximately 0.5 light-years from present location. Axial tilt of 35 degrees results in extreme seasonal weather. Existence of humanoid life forms confirmed. The Federation has classified Vanguard 3 as an underdeveloped planet. Civilization level, approximately equivalent to 16th century Earth. Would you like to review the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact?
I mean, I don't know if that necessarily applies to civilians. It's always been something more of the actual, like, the Pan-Galactic Federation itself. That organizations had to follow. But I guess?
Yes.
The Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact was established in order to protect planets with developing civilizations. Contact with civilizations that have not reached a certain level of development is strictly prohibited by Federation law. This is due to the fact that contact with advanced civilizations has a high probability of greatly influencing the course of history on a less developed planet. All individuals and organizations belonging to the Pan-Galactic Federation are required to adhere to the tenets of this pact, unless faced with a clear danger to life and limb.
Yeah, this sounds like a danger to life and limb.
This pact is one of the most important components of Pan-Galactic Federation law. It also serves as a guideline for civilian conduct in emergency situations.
Which this also sounds like.
Violators will be tried by the Pan-Galactic Council.
How long till we get there?
At our present speed of Warp 6,
damn.
arrival is estimated in 144 hours.
Almost a week.
Are there any foreseeable problems in getting to Vanguard 3? How's our energy reserves?
Is there food?
No foreseeable problems.
Okay.
An adequate supply of energy and food is on board.
How about bathroom?
Okay, I guess I'll get some sleep. Notify me if anything happens.
Affirmative.
Hope that ship has some games on it. 6 days is quite a while.
Entering Vanguard 3's gravitational field. Prepare for entry turbulence.
I'd probably go crazy if I didn't have anything new for that long. Especially if I was in that kind of confined space.
Here we go. So this is Vanguard 3. Since they haven't contacted me yet, I suppose it'll be a few days before they come rescue me. I better keep an eye out for danger. After all, this is an underdeveloped planet. My quad scanner's picking something up. Moving at 40 clicks.
Clicks is supposed to be a measure of distance, I think, not velocity.
Might be.
I could be wrong on that.
I hope it's not dangerous. I should use my replicator to make myself a weapon, just in case. A sword would be a good match for this planet's level of development. I don't want to get arrested for violating the UP3.
Stab rod.
Luckily, I've gotten used to this kind of weapon in the battle simulators. Not that I feel very lucky right now. I sure hope I don't end up having to use this thing. Yeah, that feels about right. The sun will be setting soon. I better find someplace safer to stay by nightfall. If there is any safe place on this planet.
I mean, I would think inside of a spaceship would still be pretty safe against, like, general monsters and animals like that.
Huh? There's something there. I'll try expanding the range a bit. It's picking up humanoids. Based on this reading, I'd guess it's a village. If I start out now, I might be able to make it by nightfall. I'll go. I know it's a UP3 infringement, but this is an emergency. They'll probably cut me some slack if I keep a low profile.
Which would be kind of hard to do when you show up like completely uninvited to a village on your own. That's a big save point. That is not a save point? Oh, I just wasn't in enough. Fair enough. Okay, did it automatically equip me with the sword? The first question. Yes, it did. Not much of a damage difference, though. Now we get to actually explore stuff. Nothing there. Now, so yeah, there is like a map completion thing you can do. Some of these areas, because of the way that the map is revealed, can be like next to impossible to find out where you actually missed a thing. Like in one of those sections that I just filled in there was like 3 pixels that filled in by going to one spot. That would be kind of annoying. I don't remember if there's any actual like specific reward for doing so. But yeah, it is kind of a thing. Oh, hello. Okay, so the enemies are actually on the field. Good to know. Oh, I got a bonus battle.
Want some? Want some?
Come on. Give me. You can't even reach me.
All right.
1 experience. I guess I didn't get a bonus battle. Because that will be to another area. I don't want quite yet. I'm gonna kind of see what's all in this area first. Hello?
Real fight.
Excuse me? What / who are you?
That was easy.
What was that? I have no recollection of that enemy ever being a thing. Not even slightly.
Real fight.
Here.
Want some? That was fun.
Hey, blueberries. I got the healies. Now we're back to the healing point. Try to get this map. Yeah, being a completionist. You know, the amount of it that it benefits me is probably going to be very negligible. Yeah, like I'm filling in percentages of the map, and I don't even know what I'm filling. Honestly, this is probably something I should probably do more like when I'm playing offline or something like that, if I decide to play this offline at all. I'm not sure if I want to try to do any like offline grinding or anything like that. I haven't really decided that yet. But I do want like the bulk, at the very least the main bulk of the gameplay to just be this. That's currently the plan. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but I do plan on playing this through to the end. This pretty much going to be like my kind of like regular weekly Thursday thing for a while. Okay, that almost seemed like a secret. And one thing I still need to figure out as well is if I want to actually look up at any guides on how the crafting system works, because I know the crafting is kind of a thing in this game. But yeah, I don't know if I actually want to try to look up through guides for that or not. Because even when you have guides, I think it's still kind of annoying trying to get through all like the RNG that goes along with it. So do you know if there's any actual like goodies you can get from map completion, or is that just purely like completionist kind of like, can't think of the right term. But is there any actual like direct benefit of doing this? Yeah, pretty much. It just kind of feels wrong to do that on this as a stream game though, for me personally.
That was fun.
In fact, I remember there was I think it was Chrono Cross. I actually wound up like printing out every single page of an FAQ I looked up for it. You know, something like 68 pages, and that was with double-sided printing too. Kind of sad thing is I never really used much of the guide. I think I used like maybe 2 pages for it, and that was about it. Yeah, thankfully my parents never really used the printer very much. Something like that. Oh, please don't tell me activate. Damn it, I didn't want to activate story. Yeah, I think the actual number of characters is something like somewhere between like 30 and 40, I think. It's been so long since I played it, I don't really recall. And in order to get all the characters, you actually had to do, I think, like 3 different playthroughs. Because of the way that the character choice options went about. It's one of the few games where I kind of wanted to 100% it, but because I knew what it required, I didn't want to 100% it either. Even though I kind of tried. Made it. Finally.
That was farther than I thought. Looks so close. On the scanner.
Uh-oh.
Hey! What's wrong, mister? You got a bellyache?
I've been stuck in a pod for a week.
Oh no! Nicholas!
Technically not elves. I think those are technically the Expellions, if I remember right. Yeah, because I think the Rokians were the actual, like, regular human type people. Game over. I'm not going to describe how that scream sounded to me. I think it might violate TOS.
What? It was just a dream. Where am I? Wait. I'm on a backwater planet. Did someone rescue me? Who are you?
I'll leave some water here, okay?
The top jar is like bigger than you.
Are you alright? You were groaning in your sleep.
I think I'm fine, thanks. You the one who rescued me?
No, I just carried you here. My sister, Mina, she insisted.
I see. So you were the one who rescued me. Thank you, Mina. guess I should introduce myself. My name's Fate. Fate Line God. How about you?
I'm Nicholas. Her name is Mina. Fate. You said Fate, right? Your clothes and your ears. Are you one of Norton's men?
I wonder if this would technically be kind of a civilization that may not necessarily have last names, so they might have been confused about the whole line god thing. That's one thing I've always kind of wondered about games that are set in like a quote-unquote medieval or older time eras, whether or not there's any actual like distinction between having surnames and not having them. I feel like that's not something that's really explored much in RPGs, if at all. There's so much like opportunity for it.
I don't really understand the situation here.
You don't
crazy.
know Norton?
No. Actually, I've never heard of him. Who is he?
If you do not know who he is, then please, never mind. I apologize for the odd question. You still need to recover your strength. Feel free to rest here a while. We cannot do much, but we do have food.
I'm fine. No, really.
Never mind the pain.
You should stay in bed.
Please, rest. Don't worry. It is our way to help each other in times of trouble.
Sorry. Thanks.
It is no problem. Mina, let him get his rest.
He looks so young, but he seems so mature for his age. Just like Sophia.
Fate, tell me, where are you from? Why are your ears so loud? You're Sophia, huh? Tell me.
I'll tell you when you're older. Happy 80?
It's already afternoon. Ouch. Well, it hurts a little, but I can move. I'd better figure out more about this place. No telling how long I'll be stuck here.
I feel like the inner monologue is like a lot quieter than the actual speaking voice. I'm not sure how audible it actually is to like people watching. Can everybody confirm that
Wait, where's my sword?
Yeah, can you actually hear that? Or is that too quiet?
Nicholas must have it. Must have made him nervous. Alright, it's not like I need it right now anyway. I'll let him hang on to it.
Yeah, even I'm having trouble hearing it sometimes. The game is in just the music, or... Okay, yeah. So is that for all the voices? I know the music is kind of loud, even for the regular speaking things. I might need to... Actually, I don't think there even is a in-game options for music volume. Now that I think about it, I'll have to check out to the text box. How are you feeling? I imagine you're not all better quite yet. Yeah, I'm guessing that's kind of mostly his inner monologuing, because it is so much quieter. Big. Voice. Okay, just whether or not you want to hear the sounds and subtitles. But yeah, we cannot control the volume in game, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Alright. So be it. Get on out. Where do I go? What strange clothes you were wearing. Now that I think of it, that other man was dressed strangely too. Other man? Are you that stranger Nicholas found? What a fool that Nicholas is. After all he went through, he just had to go and get mixed up with you. That, I guess, is rude. Oh. An actual animation. Who are you? My mama said never let strangers in our house. So you better leave right now. Oh, loot. Blueberries. I'm now officially a thief. Hooray. Oh, there's green, which would be the inn. No, wait, no. Yeah, green would be the inn. I'm guessing purple is plot? Or is that like a shop? Doctor's house. If you're well enough to walk, won't you hurry up and leave our village? Strangers bring us nothing but trouble. These are pretty difficult medical texts in their own right. Still, their level of development is so low, I don't suppose they understand a single thing written here. Well, if they wrote it down, I assume they have to understand at least some part of it. That seems kind of, I'm having trouble thinking of words today. We'll just go with the basic words. That seems kind of dickish of Fate. Make that assumption. Blackberries. Recently, a sinister stranger settled to the west of our village. Our lord refused to send soldiers to such a remote village as ours. Perhaps the stranger knows this. We have constantly been at his mercy. That is why the people here are so wary of strangers. I am sorry they are treating you so brusquely. You must understand our situation. I mean, I took your blackberries, so I guess it's kind of acceptable. Let's save just because we have this here. So maybe, what was the green then? Maybe the green is the store? Okay, yeah, the green is the store. Wait, you... Oh, you have a baby on your back. Interesting. Welcome. Is there something you were looking for? What do you have to sell? You have some armor. But I don't have the money. Clone generator? The strange doll somehow resurrects its owner at the time of incapacitation. Owner recovers 20% HP and MP. I like how it's called a clone generator, despite this being effectively like the 1500s era technology. Sage. Oh my god. Juice that has risen to legendary status. Its price is constantly rising, creating a speculative market for the brand. Okay, so this is one of those things that you're supposed to be able to buy early on and save for like massive amount of money later on. But it's one of those things where it's really not very effective unless you have like a bajillion money to start with. At which point you can spend that money on things other than this item. Remember that being a thing. But yeah, I do want to get that ring mail. I can't really sell anything of value, yeah. So no armor for me. And no loot. Maybe check in here? Oh, loot. Aquaberries. Covers poison. Oh, another chest out there. We have to get that when we leave. Oh, welcome home. The heck? Oh, I thought it was someone else. Oops. Sorry. I didn't mean to barge in. I mean, I kind of did, but... yeah, I did. I'll just be honest. No, don't worry about it. I'm not supposed to be here either. Huh? You see, this is not really my house. I'm really just an uninvited guest. Uninvited? Then whose house is this? No one lives here now, but there was someone living here until recently. But look, the place would get all dirty unless someone took care of it. But I thought I'd at least come and keep it clean. That way, I thought it would make things easier for him when he returns. You're that traveler, right? The one that's staying with Nicholas and Mina? Our village has been through a lot, and more than a few people are saying rather ill things about you. Still, it's not everybody, and they don't bear any malice toward you. You really are quite a gentle folk. Please, I hope you at least try to understand that much. Forgive me. I'm afraid we've caused you much grief. But we're all basically kind people at heart. Please find it in your heart to forgive us. I mean, until you guys actually, like, attack me, I'll be fine. Oh, money. Armor. I'll take one armor, please. up by quite a bit, along with agility. Nice. Wait. I can take the pipe back, I guess. My stores are gonna use the pipe. Alright, so let's head this way, I guess. This game, stop breaking the fourth wall. This isn't a game. Leave the village without a weapon. I have a weapon! I have the metal pipe. I literally just equipped it. This game does not trust me. Whenever strangers come, there's naught but trouble. It was the same way last time, too. Anything over here? Doesn't look like it. Oh, more loot. Blackberries. Alright. This way. So, which one did I come from? I guess I just have to go back into Mina and Nicholas's house. That son of mine. He does foolish things. I wonder where I went wrong raising him. Urgh. Who are you? Ah, you're that young man Nicholas and Mina found collapsed in the forest. Well, what is it? Something you want from me? I want you to at least treat me with some modicum of decency? That's it. Thank you. Here we go.
What's that?
It's my treasure box. Daddy gave it to me on my birthday.
That music box was passed down through our mother's family. It is the only thing we have left from our parents. But alas, it is broken now and does not make a sound.
I see. Can I have a look?
Yeah, the voice or the volumes of the voices are kind of like. I can't think of words today. They're basically just kind of like oscillating in a way. Like sometimes they're loud, sometimes they're quiet.
The gearbox is broken, but I bet I could fix this. If I can get back to my pod, I should be able to synthesize parts. I don't think the UP3 prohibits repairing existing devices. Yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. Want me to fix this for you? It'll be my way of paying you back for rescuing me.
Really? Can you fix it, Faith?
Can you really do that? It is an expensive music box. They told us it would cost a great deal to fix it.
True. With this planet's level of civilization, parts for this wouldn't come cheap. If I can get my hands on the right parts, yes, and I think I know where to get them.
Okay, something his internal monologue is louder than his external monologue.
It's a little ways away, but I'll go get them later.
But we cannot ask you to do something like that for us.
You saved my life. It's the least I can do to repay you.
Okay.
Still.
And I'm sure that Mina wants it fixed, right?
Thank you, good sir.
In return, do you think I could get my sword back? I won't be able to go through the forest without it.
I have a pipe.
You swear you are not with Norton and his gang?
That I'm not. What? You don't believe me?
No, I trust you.
Thanks.
But be wary. If you are not one of Norton's gang, you will be in even more danger outside the village.
Danger, Smanger.
I'll be fine.
Simple sword reobtained. I love how it's just an attack power difference of 1. Alright, so now I need to go back up. Just notice this town is called Whipple. Who decided on that as a name? Can I read this? Messy writing is scribbled here. Here are my commandments. Fools who do not submit to them will be destroyed by my own hand. Norton's new commandments. Number 1. Thou shalt never break my commandments. Number 2. Thou shalt bring me food and drink each month. Okay, you'll get a cookie and a glass of water. Number 3. He who discovers a mass of metal never seen before shall report it to me immediately. Well, that doesn't sound suspicious. Number 4. Number 5. Number 9. Profit. Number 27. Thou shalt not breathe without my permission. Number 28. Thou shalt not send radio waves my way. Number 29. Thou shalt not make eye contact with me. Well, I guess that's enough. You should be grateful I don't make more. What the? Or per Alucard. What? If I ever do actually make it to like affiliate and again I can have like sound trick and stuff like that, that's gonna be like the first one I make. So I already got my armor. Okay, so I'm back here where I was before. All this stuff up here. Can I actually get there? Kind of. Okay. Yeah, some of this map collection stuff is kind of bullcrap, not gonna lie. I do want to see if you actually... Oh, hello. I'm guessing that's Norton and Company? Let's do some more map stuff over here first. Emily. There's literally nothing here. Alright.
Real fight.
Oh, you bastard.
Want some?
Double bastard. I kinda like that little joke move I got going on. If only I could extend it beyond the second hit. Okay, let's go ahead and just cause some trouble. So I'm guessing most of the map completion is gonna be behind these guys at this point. Huh? Who the heck are you? We're busy here. We don't have time to talk to fools like you. Why don't you just get out of here while I'm still in a good mood? No, I'm good. Hey, can't you see we're busy here? We don't have time to waste on filth like you. Now get out of here before you wind up hurt. I'd like to go past. Can you let me through, please? What kind of fool are you? What, you expect me to nod my head and say yes sir and let you through? We're guarding this road to make sure nobody gets through. So no, you can't go past us. If you still insist, then I don't mind teaching you a painful lesson. Just say the word. The word. They're inhabitants of an underdeveloped planet with no martial arts training at all. You don't know that! You do not know that they don't have any kind of like specific sword or martial arts. Underdeveloped may mean a lot of things. It does not mean that people are not proficient with weapons. I think I could probably take them, but there are too many to pony punches. Alright, I'll follow your advice. Yeah, see? We understand each other. Alright, scram. I don't want to see you back here again, ever. Is it really game? Okay, it's kind of annoying how the game is operating on completely bad logic to prevent you from going past a certain area. Okay, there's some more map. How do we get back now? I think it's down this way. Yeah, just we can try to get close to our first level up. Oh, triple XP, nice. Damn it.
That was fun.
Yeah, triple XP is by far the best thing you can get. Especially this early on when you're getting like 1 experience from everything. Oh. Is that where the ship is? Oh, no, that's save. Oh, right, the ship is further. It's down the little, like, alcove kind of thing. Let me do this real quick.
What?
What happened? The pod's parts and equipment have been stripped. There's no way the inhabitants of this planet know what this stuff is. It makes sense if they just smashed it up. No use wasting any more time here. I better get back to the village.
Real fight!
Damn it. Okay, that almost works.
That was easy.
Level up.
The hang of this.
Battle capacity points and skills points. Not skill points, skills. Almost with a Z, but not quite. So, skill setup. Okay, so we have 4 CP. Okay, so that determines how many skills we can equip. Now, I know that the more you use these skills, the stronger they get. That one costs 20 HP and 20 Fury. Leg speed sword. Hold the attack button down to initiate. Repeatedly tap the attack button after initiation to increase the number of attacks. Okay, so we can only buy like one thing at a time. Yeah, I'd rather have that as my strong attack, I think. Although it does cost more Fury and HP. Okay, so here, status points is how we can upgrade these, but we're not even anywhere close to the skill level required. So I guess not. Can do anything with that. So we have no tactical skills, apparently. Alright.
Real fight! Blade of Fury!
Please, if you'll only
That was
spare
easy.
my life.
What is the point of that guy? I mean, is he really any actual different than slime? Because he offers like slightly lesser rewards, I think. I wonder if you actually like get anything special for letting him be spared. If I find him again, I'm gonna just let that happen and see what occurs. I want to go.
Real fight!
Screw you. Oh my god. Game, please. There.
All right.
No recovery there, unfortunately. Slime just did not want to cooperate. Can I get free now? Oh. Didn't I tell you to scram? Don't waste my time. Okay. Dude, I want to fight you. I'm just trying to fulfill Fate's character personality of being a dick. The game won't let me. Choppa's there. I don't necessarily need the heals, but let's see if we can actually get them. Okay, cool. That gives a good healing. Okay, that's it. If you're able to walk, hurry up and leave our village. Okay, so I need to go back down here. I think it was in here.
Hello there.
What a relief! You are well! Norton's gang was lurking around the forest in the direction you left in. We were worried.
Nicholas, could you please tell me more about Norton and his gang? Who are they?
I do not know everything myself. Norton appeared suddenly in our village about half a year past. He ordered the village to supply him with food. Of course, we refused at first. The village needs its supplies to survive the harsh winter. Norton was in fact ordering the village to die. But when people refused him, he called upon this mysterious light, and those it touched disappeared, one after the other.
Yeah, kind of reference to the Sort of Light from Star Ocean 2, in which it was basically just like a kind of laser pistol.
Siren, Kurt, all gone. And our father, who resisted until the very end. Of course, we told our Lord, but he said the idea of people disappearing into thin air was nonsense and didn't want to hear about it. Now some of the villagers have even joined Norton's gang.
A mysterious light that makes people disappear? Nicholas, when you first met me, you asked me about my clothes and ears, right?
Ah, yes. Norton wore clothes made out of a strange material that was neither linen nor cotton, just like the clothes you wear. And his ears were shaped like yours. That is why I did not trust you at first. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. Can it be?
Explain the light, clothes, ears. Yeah, when it comes to the internal monologue, I'm just gonna voice it because I can barely hear him on my side.
It would explain why someone would.
It would explain why someone would steal pod parts that nobody on this planet should recognize.
Is something the matter?
It's nothing. I was just thinking. But thinking isn't going to help anything.
Thinking isn't going to help anything.
He
may be dangerous, but I'd better go meet this Norton guy. Might even find a way off this planet.
I'm really sorry, but it's going to take me a little more time to fix your music box. Can you wait just a little longer?
Okay.
That thing Norton's gang carried off, did it belong to you?
No. I thought it might be, but it wasn't. Don't worry. I'll fix your music box.
Nicholas, I'm hungry. Let's eat.
Ah, yes. Very well. Let us eat.
Alright, let's go head out. And more cutscenes. So, where's Nicholas? I don't know. Is he gone somewhere? When I woke up, he was already gone. I hope he hasn't disappeared too. Just like Mama and Papa. Nicholas would never leave you like that, Mina. It'll be alright. I'll go find him for you. Get in there. Alright, so head up towards Norton and his gang and finally beat their butts. Beat their butts in the patootie. Oh, they're just gone now. Huh. Okay, so there's a mysterious 3% of the map that we're missing for whatever reason. Ruins of Copter. Something intense music. Blueberries. More blueberries. Anything? Ooh, here we go. Blackberries. Okay. Ooh, more chests. Cooking ingredients. That is very generically termed. 2? Wait, these are numbered? Hello.
Real fight.
Oh, nice. What do you do if I spare you?
What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing?
Letting you live?
What do you think you're doing?
Are you gonna do your thing?
What do you think you're doing?
Blade of Fury!
What do you think you're doing?
Come on, do your experiment.
What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're
Want some?
doing?
Okay, I guess not.
All right.
More of this dude.
Real
Increase recovery rate upon quit. I like that.
Want some?
Oh, please, if you'll only spare my life.
Does it actually do anything? Apparently it does.
All right.
Copper idol. What's that do? Copper idol. Details. Bust made of copper, not known to have any special use. Best thing to do is probably sell it. It is kind of cool looking, not gonna lie. Huh. I don't know how much they're worth. Nothing to get there. In here. Ooh, I see loot. Wait a minute. No. Oh no, here it is. Ripe berries. What do ripe berries do? Oh, for the whole party, okay. That's kind of cool. Actually, is there stuff over here we can... Okay, apparently this way we can get over to the other side. So I'm not immediately sure how. Nothing really over this way. Okay. This way, I guess. Or thieveries.
Oh, a real fight.
Weed.
That was fun.
Oh, that's actually decent healing at this point. So not necessarily a lot, but it's definitely more feasible than I could use.
Real fight.
What do you think you're doing? Oh,
there we go.
Please, if you'll only spare my life.
Get more of the stuff.
All right.
He has a chance of dropping anything other than the copper idol when he does that. I don't think I've ever actually let him use that attack before, and I've played casually, so I never really realized that was an option. Camera angles are kind of a pain here. Aquaberries, I can't get in there, at least not that way. I need to go up through here.
Real fight. All right. I think I'm getting
Level
the
up.
hang of this.
Skills learned first aid. I like the sound of that. What'd it do? Is that actually one of these? Okay, it's not one of those skills. Act, no? Okay, is that like a symbology? Wait, what does that do then? There's not any word listed in here. Oh, support. There we go. Chance of recovering 20% of maximum HP amount when HP damage is taken. recovering maximum HP amount. Huh. I don't think skills count as damage, so I can't just like suddenly heal using ability. I don't think. It'd be cool if I could, but I don't think that's how it works. This should theoretically... No, maybe not. Oh, there's a passageway through there, I think. No. Wait, how do we get the other chest then? Oh, that's how. Just waltz right in.
Real fight!
Getting
That
better.
was easy. Real fight!
Increase chance for items. Okay. I'll keep taking those.
That was fun.
The chest. 5. Okay, so we have a 2 and a 5. Don't yet know what that's really used for. Oh, you're new. Oh, there's a bunch of you. Ah, come on. Dude! You didn't do anything.
Want some? Blade of Fury!
Come on.
Blade of Fury! All right.
I lost my bonuses. Sad. Make sure I get all the maps. That brings me back there. Come on. Huckleberry. Blueberry. This way.
Real fight!
What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing?
Want some?
If you'll only spare my
That was fun.
It's too bad you actually can't do like back attacks.
Want some?
Yeah.
All right.
So, we're exploring. Hey, there's nothing wrong with mushrooms on pizza. As long as they're not alive.
Blade of Fury!
Back, bro.
Blade of Fury!
There we go. lies and slander. That's all I have to say. Alright, since we're on the subject, what is your opinion of pineapple on pizza? That is the truth of this test. How did that miss? Ah, damn it. Okay, so you yourself are not completely. Oh god. It is way too easy to get comboed by that.
Blade of Fury!
Come on, I'm using the special move.
Blade of Fury! Alright!
Should probably use a blueberry at this point. I look at it, tries to have me choose like an individual blueberry instead of just, hey, you have blueberries. I don't actually from like different grades based on the number there. That might be interesting. Ooh, I see loot. Give me loot. Fresh sage. I don't believe I do yet. Yeah, I've basically kind of been mostly just exploring this area for more or less the first time in this run, or this playthrough. Yeah, I'm basically playing like all this without a guide, so I don't really know how to get like all the necessarily the good stuff yet. I'm just kind of just playing and chilling for the most part. Oh god, I hate these things so much.
Blade of Fury!
Hopefully Blade of Fury actually becomes useful at some point.
Blade of
Oh, no, you don't. How did you hit me?
Want some? Want some? That was fun.
There's nothing more I can explore this way. So at this point, maybe head down here. I've already gotten this area explored. I actually didn't mean to engage that, but I'll take the XP. How are you immune? How dare you have iframes in the game for like 2002?
I won't forget this.
Okay, not sure how that hit, to be honest. Okay, here we go. Haven't explored this yet. I'm assuming there's... Here we go. More cooking ingredients. Alright, so... Yeah, I think we need to head back to kind of the entrance at this point. I don't know if I can get along that way from the map. Yeah, I think it was down this way. Unless I already explored there by accident. Maybe I did. Okay, I guess I did already explore it. So... Oh, we have two numbers so far, 2 and 5. Now, where do we utilize them? I didn't see anything I can really use up here. I can't get down there. Oh. I couldn't even see him. How is that an ambush? I literally walked right in front of him. You look. There we go. My slow attack is faster than your slow attack. So, something over here now. Okay, I feel like we already missed something. There's a lot of this area we haven't explored yet. We gotta find what I'm missing. There we go.
That was easy.
Alright, so... Okay, I'm already at the point of being confused. Back up this way? This area seems kind of suspicious to not really have anything with this map coverage.
Real fight. That was fun.
Yeah, so that's where we found the 5. I don't know what the numbers mean yet is the main thing. Yeah, I've already gotten a couple of those. You can get it twice. Oh, actually does like cap out at 2 then? Because I just stopped at 2 because I didn't think I needed really any more than that.
That was easy.
Over there. There's a piece of map over here. Oh, here we go. More exploration. Never mind, it's just more dead ends. No, it's most of them up here. Here we go. Okay, first get the map. Oh, that's no passage way. I'm gonna explore this area first. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily need a lot of money for the super early game. 2 per noble, get 20. Wait, so you can get like multiple per fight? Is that how that works? Actually, I suppose my question then is for the pomelo juice, whatever. How do you get a rear attack? I walked into space. Okay, yeah, because when he's done it 2 times before, he just like instantly runs away after that. So I didn't know if he could actually like keep doing that. Come on, you gonna do it? Dude, stop embarrassing yourself. Yeah, I don't really recall money necessarily being that much of an issue in this game, although it could just be like misremembering things. Really nothing here though. I don't know if I can keep getting them then.
Real fight.
What do you think you're doing?
Also, I already hate his voice. Oh, yeah.
If you only...
There we go.
Please, if you only spare my life.
I think he'll just die once I hit him again. Oh no, he actually does live. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I want to deal with the crafting either, because I know how much of a complete RNG fest it ends up actually being. And I don't know if I necessarily want to look up a guide for my playthrough on this either, because I just never really felt right doing a stream of a game with a casual playthrough and then trying to use guides. It just never really felt right to me. Dude, are you even gonna... Okay, dude, shut up.
That was easy.
Yeah, I already can't stand that guy's voice. Okay. That's fair. Oh, hello.
Who are you, kid? What do you want? This is Lord Norton's turf, so beat it or else.
That's a voice I want to punch.
I don't want to fight you guys. I just want to know if you've seen a little boy around here.
A little boy?
Yeah, no worries. I can definitely understand
You mean
the passion for games like this.
Yeah, he came around here blabbering about getting something back and wanting to see Lord Norton.
Then what did
Yeah,
you
this
do?
game I basically played like once when it first came out a whole bunch of years ago. Played it to completion, and never really touched it since. So it's one of those games I kind of wanted to get back into at some point.
Being the kind-hearted fellas we are, we gave the stupid kid what he wanted. I bet Lord Norton's re-educating the undisciplined little brat right now.
Re-educating is never a good word to hear.
What?
It's the kid's own fault. Nothing good can come from messing with Lord Norton. Don't worry, you'll learn it's better to join us than fight us. It's a shame. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Idiocy must run in the family.
Rotten little...
Whoa there! Didn't I just say you can't pass through here? Wanna see that brat? You gotta beat us first.
Sounds good to me. Let's get started.
Punks. What gives you the right?
Looks like we got another village idiot in need of some education.
Haha, a real fight!
Oh, damn. Okay. This is apparently going to be a thing. Wait, what? Okay, that was actually kind of good combo. Yeah, that's actually not what I wanted to use that. Oh, God. Got one. Oh, I got the healing thing triggered. Nice. There we go. Oh, no, you don't. Ah, damn it.
Alright!
The beat up textbook. That's a good chunk
I
of
think I'm getting
XP.
the hang of this.
Scan enemy and aerial. I think I'll technically one of them ran away, but all three of them are still beat up.
I better hurry up and find him.
Hey, wait. What are you doing? Skills. Alright. Oh, aerial is actually a move. Anti-air attack, short range only. Hold the attack button down and initiate. Alright. So short range only, so I have to go through here, but I don't have enough points for it. And I do like first aid. So not worried about that yet. Look, anti-attack aura. So set up. Okay. Yeah, not really sure what they do yet. Take a look. Textbook. Learn standard AAA. Look for learning an anti-attack aura. Allows characters to automatically initiate counterattacks when the guard is up. Yeah, I don't really plan on actually using my guards for much of anything yet, but maybe that'll change down the road. But yeah, I think for now, and actually I think I already technically have standard. Oop. Mr. Hi. Hey, why you like this? Alright. Oh, loot over there. Get the loot first. Hey, why? Why must you be like monkey? There's a lot of those Nova guys running around. Oh, I'm sure they're all based on when you actually do like the successful guard thing or whatnot. Like I mentioned, that does not seem to be much of a winning strategy for me right now, trying to go through the guarding thing, so I'm not really focused on that yet. Gotta go back around to the back. Anyway. I talked to them. Ouch. I guess we weren't so tough after all. So no map completion here. And suddenly skeletons. For no reason.
Real fight!
Ow. Oh, that actually worked. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, so Okay. Maybe it is actually more useful than I gave it credit for. Oh, right, that was purple. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, that's the kind of style I've never really been a fan of much myself. I always like to have all my team members actually doing something. Jewel of Refuge. I'm guessing that no, that make enemies just like run away from me. Stop enemy movement for a short time. Okay. Is that in battle or out of battle? I'm assuming in battle, because that's where it would actually be more useful. Where are we going? It's no good. The door's locked and it's much too strong to break down.
Real fight.
Oh my god, you didn't. How do you not get left upward? Okay. Item. Blueberry. Blueberry in my face.
Want some?
Oh, nice. I was trying to do the guard against him. Oh, that's a skill.
Want some?
Oh, doesn't work. Okay.
All right.
So this Norton guy's an off-worlder too.
Yeah, I can definitely understand the voices thing being a very hated aspect. That's why I can never play the fourth Star Ocean game again. All because of the, I think it's like, she's like the third character. You get basically like a 5-year-old that joins your party. I hate her with an ever growing passion. I basically refuse to play the game because of that character.
What he's doing here.
Is this a heal? Or oh no, just basic scenery. Okay, so it doesn't do auto healing. This is a screen for entering a password. It's asking for a 3-digit number. Options, password entry screen. From your guide, Boss Norton. So you better be thankful. I mean it. That's right, but remember you only get 3 chances. Make 3 mistakes, you're through, or kick you out of here. Give you a little hint. Two numbers located somewhere in the ruins. Okay, so I only know 2 of the numbers, and I don't know what order they're in. Whichever one was like the young kid who's like, I think her grandfather was like slowly turning to stone. Three. I remember one of the numbers was a 2. This is one of those passwords that like is randomly changed between each playthrough. Yeah, because I've seen 5 and 2 on the walls before. I haven't seen a 3rd number yet. We don't get healing from that. Oh, I did not mean to do that encounter. Oh, I should not have done the strong attack. Yeah. Come on. What? Okay. Okay. Right, that was still not it. Well, it is actually kind of getting about the time I should be getting ready for, well, to end the stream anyway, so I'm able to probably call it a little bit early. Actually, in that case, I'll just leave the old save so I still have all 3 chances. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for the night. I'll be back on tomorrow with my weekly Steam Library tour, which for tomorrow, which game is that going to be? We have Steam Library. Well, tomorrow's game is going to be... we did that one. Oh, right, it's the one that I have the multiple game series for. So I think the next one is going to be, I believe it's like a strategy RPG of some kind. Not sure what the right proper terminology for it is, but yeah. So I'll be back on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central with our Steam Library tour for the week. And yeah, that's basically about it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, have a good night.